As you can probably tell, we're all students here at the Northern Alberta Institute of Technology.
Now, this may come as a surprise, but did you know that none of us actually live on campus? And that's not always by choice, but that might be a different story in the future. Reporter Cassidy Shandro joins us live from our news center with more on a historic housing for planes that may possibly accommodate students at some point.
Thanks, guys. Originally built in 1942, Hangar 11 is now an endangered historic site in the Blatchford area. Located right behind the NAIT campus, a new development proposal allows the hangar to be remodeled into student housing while also keeping the original architecture.
Hangar 11 is one of two remaining World War II-era hangars built in partnership with the American Air Force in 1942. Located between the NAIT campus and the Alberta Aviation Museum, the hangar is slowly rotting away at its original wooden architecture. A development proposal has been given the green light to turn the hangar into housing for NAIT college students after a meeting with the City Council last week.
It was really about what sort of vision could be developed to keep that deeply, deeply important building that speaks to the history of Canada, that speaks to the war, and what could we do with it? And just through a lot of work over years and working with some brilliant people, we'd said, hey, you know what? We could do NAIT student housing, affordable housing.
As you can see, the hangar is in pretty poor condition, but Tim believes that he can salvage some of the original architecture when he remodels the structure. As for NAIT's take on the student housing, I spoke with the internal VP of NAITSA, and she says that NAITSA was not consulted about the new housing proposal.
There is other talks of student housing outside of the hangar. So as far as I'm aware, sitting on that committee, NAIT was, and from what I've read, NAIT was not consulted with this project proposal. But I know there's other talks about other campus housing.
The bigger part of the hangar is planning to be used to host local restaurants and try to create a sense of community within the building and the NAIT campus.
There's this sort of authenticity to it, you know, that complements the building and the history and the heritage. And, you know, to develop this interior space where it's not quite a farmer's market, but it's almost like a social live, eat, work, play hall.
Alexis does think that the new housing would be beneficial for students since NAIT is one of the only post-secondary institutions in Alberta without on-campus residency.
Tim says he expects to break ground this spring and is hoping to have the building completed by the end of 2023.
So, Cass, how much is this project expected to cost?
Depending on the damage to the hangar itself, it could be anywhere between $18 million and $83 million.
And how many dorms are going to be in the new building?
From what I've heard from Tim, he says around 225 units are to be installed into the building.
Thanks, Cassidy. That's Cassidy Shandro reporting live from our news center tonight.